Oh, hi there. Oh, thank you for joining. I was just sitting here reading my Bible. I love this book. It is full of so many interesting stories. It has drama and action, adventure, romance, mystery. It makes me laugh, it makes me cry. Sometimes it kind of scares me. I mostly love learning about Jesus and how he lived his life. The people he met, his friends, disciples, those who loved him. The people he taught and healed, the people he stood up for and welcomed. The children. Jesus loved the children. And of course, there's also the people who don't think he's so great. The people who were afraid of his power and strength and courage, who were afraid of the way he stood up to them and challenged them to live kinder lives. One of my favorite people from the Bible is this man named Paul. Paul was one of the guys who didn't like Jesus very much. He was a Pharisee, and that's a religious guy who didn't like the people who followed Jesus. I don't know why. Paul was a bully. He was pretty mean to the people who followed Jesus and who tried to share Jesus' love with others. I don't know, maybe somebody bullied Paul when he was young. Who knows why people are so mean? Anyway, one day Paul was on his way to this place called Damascus, and something happened. I'm not sure what exactly, but the Bible said there was a flash of light and he heard the voice of Jesus. Well, whatever happened there on that road changed him. Suddenly his heart was filled with love for Jesus, and he became one of Jesus' most important followers. He helped so many people understand about the love that Jesus taught. In the Bible, there's a bunch of letters. It's near the end of the Bible. When Paul wrote to a bunch of different groups of people, helping them to understand how to live the way Jesus taught to live, how God wanted them to live, how to create a world that was more loving, safer, more fair. One of the letters he wrote was to a group of people in a place called Corinth. They were called Corinthians. This letter is a letter about love. The people in Corinth were kind of having a hard time getting along. So Paul wrote them this letter. I was actually just reading it when you joined me. I wonder, maybe I'll just read it for you. How about that? All right, let's see. What does it say? Paul's friends in Corinth had lots of good ideas, but sometimes they forgot what was most important: love. Paul wanted to help them remember. So Paul wrote them a letter and said, "If I use words that everyone understands but don't have love, I'm just a clanging bell or a booming drum making noise. If I teach about God, know what will happen tomorrow, know everything there is to know, and can figure out the mysteries of the world, but I don't know about love, none of the other things I know matters. If I sell everything I have and give the money to the poor, but don't have love, I have nothing, nothing at all. Love is easygoing and kind. It never wants what it can't have. It doesn't brag. It's not rude. It's not selfish. It doesn't get angry, and it always forgives. Love is happy with the truth. Love always protects, trusts, and hopes. Love doesn't give up. It never fails. All the things we know and all the things we have will go away someday, but God's love will never go away. Every day that we grow older, we learn more and more. Today, we only know a little bit about God's love, but someday we'll know all there is to know about it." Paul ended his letter by telling the people in Corinth that love is the most important thing they have. Paul said, "Until the time you know everything about God's love, you have 3 things to remember: faith, hope, and love. The most important of these 3 things is love." The most important thing is love. God is love, and Jesus came to the world to be love, to show us how very, very much God loves us, to help God's love grow inside of us. We all have God's love inside us. We were born with it. And nothing we can do or say will ever, ever, ever make that go away. Ever. Our job is to help that love grow. To grow it so strong and so big that it just bursts right out of us and into the world. So how do we do that? How do we make God's love grow? Well, there's a song that I learned when I was a kid, and I think we've sung it here at McClure before, but it really helps me to understand how love grows. And it goes like this.
Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny, hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it and you'll have so many, they'll roll all over the floor.
So that's it. To grow it, we need to give it. It's that simple. It really is. So in a couple of days, it's going to be February, and February is the month of love. I mean, every month is a month of love, but February has Valentine's Day, a day where people just share their love for each other. So I'm going to invite you throughout this month to do two things every day. First, do something loving for yourself. So think about that for a second. What do you need to do for you to love yourself? For me, I need to smile at myself when I look in the mirror. I might even look myself in the eye and say, I love you. It actually helps. It feels kind of nice. I also need to remember to take nice, deep breaths of peace and to spend time in quiet, just connecting with myself, connecting with God. So those are a couple of things I need to do. What do you need to do? It's important you think about that. Because if you don't know what you can do to love yourself, you're not going to be able to help other people know what they can do to help you feel loved. And then, of course, the other thing I'd like you to do throughout February is each day to do one loving thing for someone else. If you get our monthly newsletter, I've included a calendar of loving acts, one for each day in February, to give you some ideas of things you can do. If you don't receive the newsletter but would like the calendar for some ideas, I'll just post it in the comment section of this video for you. So you got that? One loving thing for yourself and one loving thing for someone else. And while you're doing that, why don't you just give a shout out to God, a little thank you for creating you out of love, for giving you this amazing loving heart, and for giving you people and opportunities to practice love. And don't forget to come by the church to build a snow person anytime in February to show our neighborhood that McClure United Church is a church that loves. And that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Take care.